All right, we're gonna get our second live in for the day, so we're really we're moving up on our quota, I guess. We had taken some time off, and now we're back because we started hold conditioning a couple days ago. It's later than I probably wanted to do this, so I had to set up some lights, and so I'm gonna figure out if we can do this without blinding myself. I've got Spry with me here. Come here. So she came out. She's been on place all evening for the most part. I took them out and worked her earlier today. Did a live with her, and the majority of the time I would say she's been on place this afternoon. So Trace is in, Cody's in, Cody Miller. We got two Codys in. So as people start coming on, she's got something here. As people start coming on, we'll get started here. Mike Schulte's in. I was able to see questions last time, so that worked pretty good, and I think I'll see him again. So I'm gonna turn this a little bit. Wyatt's in. Come here, Spry. So I'm gonna get her up, and she's kind of, I think, getting used to the routine a little bit. Can you guys see that all right? Brian Frisk, hey Brian. George is in, Cole Brewer's in, Steven is in. Good evening to you, my friend. Marty is in. Welcome, guys. Let me know if you can see her all right, because I don't have a camera person with me. Steph is in, I think they're watching Beauty and the Beast right now. So her and Red. So Red is going to pick a winner. If you guys are, I know this is our DogBone page, and I'm juggling a bunch of stuff, but Licking Stick is a project that we're working on right now, another page called the Licking Stick. If you're following that, we're going to pick a winner. Red's going to pick a winner. We did a share, like thing, and we're going to give a Licking Stick away. So Red's going to pick that for me before she goes to bed. So you still got time, you can get in on that. But I'm going to put her up. I'm going to ask you to do me a favor while I get her settled in. Go ahead and share this if you would. I think that is hands down the best way for us to grow this. Steven is in. Jeff Trudell's back. Hey, Jeff. Wyatt says it looks good, so perfect. Here's my wooden dowel. Now, I started thinking back on some of the questions, and I did get a few questions that I answered, typed out answers to from the last one. And so I'm thinking back on some of the old questions that we had when it came to hold conditioning. One of the questions was, when you're talking about hold, what do you mean by that? We're just getting a good delivery with our dog. This is going to kind of brainwash them into understanding that when they pick stuff up, they can't set it down. They can't spit it out. They can't take off and run with it. They got one job to do. When they get something in their mouth, they bring it right back to me. So it's getting me a real nice, clean delivery. It's going to get rid of a lot of issues that can come up. So Stephanie's in, Nicole Schulte's in. I think I saw Mike was in too. Now, you two cuddle up and watch on one phone. Save the data. Rocky is in, Amanda's in, Travis, McDonough and Laura from over in Mondovi, Aaron Garlock's in. So welcome, guys. If you would, go ahead and share it. But so that was one of the questions that came up earlier. I'm using this as a chance for her to settle in, and if you can see how loose that is. Now, go back to the first one, and look at the difference. I think that's the value in filming. That's one of the parts of having value in filming these training sessions is it's really easy for me to go back and see what it looked like 2, 3, 7, 15, 25 days ago. And you can really see change that way. We talked about 7-day challenge that we did, and it was real effective because it gave people a start point and an end point, 7 days, and they could see their progress. It's real easy for us to see it in bigger chunks. It's hard to see it in the small chunks. Dan's in, Edward's in, Aaron Garlock is in. Welcome, guys. So as she gets settled in here, I'm going to start right in with hold with her. Tonight, it may or may not be easy for you to see, but my objective is to get that chin up with her, and this is just where I'm with her right now. The third day, with some dogs in the past, I might, for the first time, be putting something in their mouth. So don't necessarily make comparisons to your dog to this. I did have someone make a comment of, on that other live that we did today. She asked, I'd like to see you work with some 10-week-old, 11-week-old pups. Go back with Live with Spry. It's probably easier to find it on YouTube. Our YouTube channel is at DogBone Hunter. It's probably easier to find it there than it is on Facebook because you can only scroll back so far, especially if you're on a phone. On a laptop or a computer, it's a little easier to go to posts, but then you got to scroll way back because we're talking that's like 6 months ago. So a lot of posts in between now and then. The easiest way I think to find the order of the Live with Sprys would be through YouTube. So, but what I was going to say was go back. You can see everything from 7 weeks to 10 weeks. You can see all that stuff. But what I also want to say is just because I was at a certain point at 10 or 11 weeks with Spry doesn't mean that's where you should or would be with your dog. Just like Moja is at a different point right now than Spry was at 13 weeks. It's not good, bad, or indifferent. It's just that's the reality. So John Ballard got in. Sky is in. Sky's got a little pup. Jordan is in. John Ballard's in. Eric Klein. John Grimes. Welcome, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna start right in with the hold because my battery isn't real supercharged. But my objective tonight is get up. I want that chin up. I want to be able to put the hand down without her following me. So I want it up right here, and I want position better. Like right now, she's looking over here. I'm gonna have now she's kind of squaring up to me. That's nice. Good. I don't know if you can see her tail. I think when her tail wags, she's pretty comfortable. That's why I hold condition instead of force fetch. I want dogs to like this. They already like it. Let's not put negative to it. So when they're in this state of mind now, if they get too much, Nicole Larson, when she's watching, she talks about Maverick getting too much, boils over. So you don't have to say good girl, good boy, good. You don't have to do that with Maverick because you lose them. Sometimes I need to get her up, and then sometimes I need to get her back down. So do you guys with your dogs. So you got to figure that out. You got to figure out how to be constantly tuning them in and out, in and out, in and out. Balance. We have to find balance. There's a nice little look from her. Nice little look of focus. So I move in on it. Move the gums out of the way. Don't pinch. Don't make this uncomfortable. Hold. 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 Good. Hold. 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 Dead. Very nice. Good time to get out of it. It was probably getting a little bit long. Low battery, it says. So I got 20%. I'm good. So I got out of it, I think, at a good time. If I had gone any longer, it could have got ugly. One thing with her is I start talking and blah, 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 and she's following and keying off of me. So as soon as I'm going to start working with her, you're going to notice I have to get like this if I want her to get like that. And that's what I want. So it's easier for me to do this without doing it live because I don't have to be talking to you and blah, 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 blah. I can just focus on her. And there would be very little words if it was just me and her. That's why when sometimes people film me working with the dogs, you don't hear anything out of me. I don't have to say anything. A little bit of tone maybe once in a while. Good. I want her to square up. Good. Let her wiggle. She's happy. Good. No. No, come on. So I want to spin her around. I don't like that position. So before I go back in, I want to get better position. I don't like her looking that way. Because as soon as she straightens out and she sits straight, she's over here. I don't need to be bending her to force her over this way. There. I want to get her looking at me before I do this. So start out in the right direction. It's one less thing I have to adjust. That's good. I'm just working my fingers in there. Just putting a little bit more pressure down on them. Not a hard chomp by any means, but hold. 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 Mosquito. Hold. Hold. Very good. Good. Hold. 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 Dead. Good. Very nice. Another really nice one. Now, I can tell right now, I'm starting to, oh, there's some people that are talking here. Your hold conditioning came at a good time. Good. I'll read these after. But one of the things with her, when I reach up with two hands, I'm almost always taking it from her. So I know what's going to happen is she's going to start anticipating. When he comes up with two hands, I'm going to start to give it to him. And that's fine. Right now I'm fine with it. But I'm going to fix that pretty quick too, because I'm going to start testing them. I'll bring both hands up. I'll tap on them. Not yet with her. We just want her to hold. Now she's going to spit it. At some point she's going to make a mistake and spit it out. She has to. The first night she did. She spit it out after like two or three repetitions. She spit it out. And then she didn't want to take it back because I corrected her. I said, no. And I put it back in there. And then the next time I went to put it in, instead of her going and grabbing it, which she went and grabbed it the couple times before that, she didn't want it. I had to literally open up her mouth to put it in. So they have to spit it out, and you correct it at the right time. It doesn't have to be harsh, but they got to understand that's not what they're supposed to do. When the first couple times I put this in her mouth, she holds so naturally because of the stuff we did earlier to prep her for this. She was holding so natural, she didn't know what was wrong. She didn't know what would have gotten a correction because she never did it. So she had to make a mistake in order for me to correct, in order for her to understand what it is I really want. So that happens with everything that we do with them. They got to make a mistake in order to understand what they're not supposed to do. So it's expected. Now, she'll get real good, and then she'll get a little sloppy, and then it'll slip, and I'll go, and I'll correct. And that'll be the reminder for her. So I'm going to have to remind her so many times during this next 2 weeks that she can't help but not spit it out. Like mentally, she just won't be able to. It's going to help us with so many issues that come up with retrieving. Good. She's really ramping up. Like if I wanted to push her over the top right now, I could. No reason to. This is where, if you have a dog that gets excited, counter it by doing nothing. Good. 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 So by doing nothing, she kind of settles back in, and now I get to go. Hold. But if I just tried forcing my way through that, man, I'd have a dog that's too wound. Hold. 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 Good. Good. I really like how little she is fidgety. Hold. Hold. Dead. Good. I shouldn't talk so much when she's got it in her mouth. So, but I like how not fidgety she is. She's not anxious. She doesn't want to hide. She doesn't want to take it away. She doesn't want to keep it to herself. I like that. She's real natural. It's not surprising to me. But I think that there's something I was going to say, but now I don't remember. Touching wise, I'm touching her to remind her right here. Don't remind them up here. Good, good, good. Because when you pet the top of their head, what does their head do? It goes down. In order for them to spit it out, if their head is down, they can drop it. If their head is back, even if they try to open their mouth, it ain't coming out. And I can get there to correct it. So if this isn't a good one to show, because she does it so good. So, but I've had dogs that lay their heads back and they want to chomp and bite. I've had dogs that just want to drop their head. So we want to get to this, and sometimes that takes a week. Nick Ackerman's in. Welcome, Nick. We don't make mistakes. Bob Ross. Put a happy little tree right there, my friend. So when we might, I'll read these after, but so just keep that head up. That was the point I was trying to make. She's doing a pretty nice job of keeping that head up. So I'm going to go one more with her, and then that's going to be about a lesson. And pretty soon, I'm going to have to push it. I actually pushed it a little bit that time. That was the other thing I remembered I wanted to say. I don't want to say it when I'm doing it. So I'm trying to put these little mental notes. But I took my hands down that time. If you notice, I took my hands down. And the reason I did was I really wanted to see if she dropped her head, if she decided to try to spit. Because I gave her some freedom there. And I might do it again. But I gave her some freedom to really make a decision on choosing to hold this thing and keep her head in the right position. And if she had made a move, I was going to be right here with it. So I'm not lulled into a false sense of security. I become heightened as I take away and I give her a little more freedom. But she earns it. And then if she screws up, I kind of get back a little bit closer to her and help her with it. So I'm trying to help her understand what the hell I want her to do. Because she has no reason to know what I want her to do. She holds naturally, but that doesn't necessarily mean she gets it or understands why we're doing it. Hold. 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 Very good. Hold. 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 Good. Hold. There it was. Hold. Good. Good. Hold. Hold. Good. Dead. Very nice. Now I'm going to get out of this session because that was real good. I liked how she put her head down. And she didn't spit it, but I could kind of see her little wheels turning. And I could see her thinking about it, going, I wonder what would happen if I spit this out. So I don't want to let her do it just yet. Because if we did it, my thought with that was we've done pretty good here for 3-4 in a row. I don't want to give her so much that she spits it out and I have to correct. And then we start over because I'm 10 minutes into this. Her attention span isn't that long. So my thought with it there was test it, test it, test it, test it. Give her a little bit, but don't let her fail. Now tomorrow, I'll probably start out with putting it in. I'll take a step back. And I'll give her a little bit of space, and I'll almost tempt her a bit to make that mistake. And I'll let her put her head down. And if she decides, or I read her that she's going to spit, I'm going to, no, and get it fixed. Because I know I'm in the very beginning of the session, and I might have 3 or 4 repetitions to get better at. Don't end it with a bad one. Start it out with a bad one, then get it a little better, then a little better, and then a little better, and then a little better, and then you're done. So that was my reasoning, to give her some space, but don't let her fail. Boy, it was tempting though. So tomorrow I'll give her some space. She might fail, and I'll go, I'll get it right back to her. And then I'll build off that, and build off that, and build off that. And then all of a sudden she starts to learn. She starts to figure this stuff out. So that was a nice little session. Done for tonight. Let me spin it around so you don't have to watch me. I'll read. Now I'm going to leave her on there. I'm just going to let her be her. I'm going to go back though and look at some of the comments if anybody had a question. Nice little group tonight. I appreciate you guys putting the time in to watch this, because I know they're not that exciting, but Nicole's glad to see live sessions back. Yep, I am too. You can see the tail, which is good, which people, you know, how my dogs are way more excitable. Trust me, this dog can get excited. I can get her excited. I also go, why get her excited? And when she does get excited, try to counter it. Kim joined in from down in Missouri. Kim Winder. Your hold condition came at a good time for me. I was struggling with it. And after watching you, I realized it did not get the bottom lips out of the way. Today was a much better session. Awesome, Brian. So simple little thing about, hey man, pinch those gums into that bumper and expect them to want to hold nicely. That hurts, man. It hurts. So simple little things like that. God, mosquitoes are bad. Dan's dog still trying to put his foot on mine. Will the challenge for dominance ever stop? Not until you end it, Dan. And so will it stop? Yes, as soon as you establish. I got a feeling you haven't quite established yet. I know you're working at it, but it's got to be constant. And then all of a sudden, but will they test? Yeah, they're always going to test a bit. But I think the testing gets a little bit less and less and less, especially as we establish more and more and more. Happy little accidents, Wyatt. Man, you are an educator. Wyatt loves Bob Ross. Happy little squirrel in his tree. Justin Johnson was in. Welcome, Justin. Jeremy Irv got in on it. Mike Bartold. Hey, Mike, how are you? Evan Smith and James Lewis joined in. So, no real questions. I think they'll probably. It seems like we're getting some usually a little bit later. So, that's fine. I'll answer them. We'll be back tomorrow. Someone said the live videos are really help to see timing. Awesome, Denise. I love that you bring timing up, because timing was my big buzzword earlier today when I did the live number 96. Timing is really important. I can't emphasize it enough. Timing correlates to every activity we do. Hold conditioning, gotta have good timing. Heel work, gotta have good timing. Retrieving, gotta have good timing. Simple corrections, place training, gotta have good timing. If you don't have good timing, it's so hard for these guys to learn. Like that's how they figure stuff out. And if we suck at it, it's not their fault. So while I think I have a lot of catching up to do to get to the work done on my guy first time catching a live session. Awesome, Steven, neighbor from the north, it looks like. Don't worry, Steven. Your dog doesn't matter about time, doesn't care about time, and neither should you. So you've got a lot of catching up to do. You'll get caught up. Trust me, we had a lot of catching up to do in theory with our retrieving, and we always catch up. We always get there. It really doesn't matter how quickly you get there as long as you get there. So it's a marathon, not a sprint. You can't. That is so true. So Chelsea got in. Chelsea, I'll be seeing you on Tuesday at Mighty Pet. Dan, you bet, and Jason Erickson joined in. So, all right, guys, you have a great rest of your night. We'll be live again tomorrow. I'm gonna try to be able to announce it a little bit. I tried it again today. I made a couple posts that gave you a little bit of heads up, but I'm gonna try to get it a little bit better. But otherwise, we will see you tomorrow. Have a great night.